You're tuned in to Delhi NCR's only international station. And this is Good Morning Delhi with your host, Priyanka.
Radio 1.
Back in the chain gang, the Pretenders, and of course, we're back on the road, going on our way to the office. But you know what? I am going to make it interesting for you because I have a very interesting guest in the studio with me. Sanjay Purohit. He is the MD of iProf Mobile Learning, and he's an expert in business innovation and process transformation and has extensive experience of leading transformation projects across several industries and organizations. Now, just to give you, a little idea of what his background is like. I mean, he started his career as an IAS officer, then he went on to get an MBA. He's a gold medalist from IIM in Ahmedabad, after which he made the switch from government to technology industry and has worked in USA, Singapore, and India. And he's been managing director with New York-based business restructuring firm LMCO. He is also the former CEO of American textile firm Dan River. In fact, Dan River's transformation under Sanjay has been featured in several business periodicals and is a University of North Carolina Business School case study. In addition to Dan River, Sanjay has also been CEO of BPO organization called Whale and Samuel Cartel and the manufacturing firm Best & Baker. And, he's also worked with AT&T Wireless and Motorola when they first entered the Indian market. But in 2009, he decided to put all of those expertise, and work for himself. And he started a new venture called iProf, which is a mobile learning marketplace. Good morning, Mr. Purohit, and welcome to the show.
Good morning, Priyanka.
So, I am really fascinated. I want to know, how do you make that switch from being an IAS officer, which is quite a coveted position in India, and then you decide to move into the private sector?
I was an IAS in late 80s.
Okay.
And at that time, India started opening in 91.
Yeah.
And I realized that the delivery mechanism which prevailed for growth, which was always with the government, is now moving to private sector. But I realized I need to have some education before I can make a switch.
Yeah.
So that's how I opted to do it, my MBA.
Do your MBA, and then of course you've worked abroad. Now you're back in India, and you started iProf. So tell us a little bit about what iProf is exactly.
iProf is India's largest mobile learning marketplace.
Okay.
So we provide, last year as an example, we provide about 80 lakh students with the mobile education.
Okay.
All our younger generation is moving to mobile.
Yeah.
They entertain through mobile, they listen music, they listen everything on mobile. They even communicate all the time on mobile.
Sure.
Only thing we are forcing them to do is study in a traditional way. And that's why they all complain about being it boring. And that's why we decided to launch mobile education platform.
Yeah. Oh, that's such a wonderful tool for parents and for teachers, right?
Yeah.
Okay, but of course we're going to get into the nitty-gritties of how the app works and, how you can get your child hooked on it. Don't you go anywhere and stay tuned to Good Morning Delhi with me, Priyanka, as I continue my conversation with Mr. Sanjay Purohit, the MD of iProf Mobile Learning. Also coming your way, bills, lunch money, Lewis. Oh yes, bills are predominantly on your mind when you're heading to work on Monday, but don't worry, we're keeping you company right here.
You're tuned in to Delhi NCR's only international station. And this is Good Morning Delhi with your host, Priyanka.
Radio 1.
The way adults make that noise when it comes to bills, I think students probably make that noise when it comes to studying. Do you agree, Mr. Purohit?
I completely agree.
Well, in the studio with me is Mr. Sanjay Purohit. He is the MD of iProf Mobile Learning. And what that is that basically it's a mobile learning marketplace that helps users turn their touchscreens, Android smartphones into virtual classrooms by facilitating student-teacher interactions and studying anytime, anywhere. So, Mr. Purohit, of course, we're talking about sort of the next phase or the future of education, right? But let's look back a little bit. And I wanted to ask you, how do you think education has evolved in India over the past decade?
In last decade, one thing which has happened is that all the students have become very aware that if they crack any good exam, if they land into IIT or IIM, they can change their life forever.
Okay.
So that awareness has penetrated to tier 2, tier 3, tier 4 towns.
The importance of education. Right.
And I am seeing more and more people are now putting lot of emphasis to crack these exams.
Okay.
That has happened, but supply has not caught up. Demand has gone up, but supply has not caught up.
Okay.
Traditional finding a good teacher for your student God bless you. It's very difficult.
Okay.
And that's where technology comes in.
Okay.
So the technology has come into the industry. It has been made available, these education in the remote areas.
Yeah.
And the mobile platforms have penetrated in a big way. Now, last year, about 12 crore smartphones were sold in India.
Right.
So students have adapted to these.
Okay.
They all want to study in the late night. No teacher is available.
Sure.
So mobile learning is the only solution available to them at 2 a.m. in the night.
Yeah.
Where they can learn something.
Okay, great. All right, and now, of course, that's where you're hoping that, iProf is coming in and filling that vacuum.
That's correct.
Okay, great. All right, well, of course, we're going to get into the nitty-gritties of how mobile learning is changing education. You don't want to miss this conversation. So stick around as I continue speaking to Sanjay Purohit, the MD of iProf Mobile Learning. And, of course, let's get back to the music. Suit and Tie, Justin Timberlake, Jay-Z coming your way next on Good Morning Delhi.
You're tuned in to Delhi NCR's only international station. And this is Good Morning Delhi with your host, Priyanka.
Radio 1.
My favorite game by the Cardigans. Now, wouldn't it be fantastic if your kids approached learning and education as, with as much enthusiasm as they did playing games on their computers and laptops? Well, Sanjay Purohit, the MD of iProf Mobile Learning, is trying to make that possible. In fact, he's come up with iProf Mobile Learning, which is basically a mobile learning marketplace that helps users turn their touchscreen Android smartphones into virtual classrooms. Now, let me ask you, Mr. Purohit, can you give me a sense of how the iProf works exactly?
Yeah, iProf app, which is called Study Buddy, you can download from any Android marketplace,
Okay.
basically Android marketplace, on any Android phone.
Okay.
And when you turn